Hey, why haven't you been answering any of my calls? What's up? My stomach is growling like a wild beast and I'm starving.
Jasmine, it's you. Look, honey, I didn't have my phone with me for a while. Everything's all right now, don't you worry. But lunch might have to wait a bit.
Wait a bit? Really? When are you coming home? Feels like it's been forever since I saw you. And my stomach's threatening to revolt.
I won't be coming home today, sweetie. There's been a bit of a situation.
A situation? What kind of situation? Is everything okay? Did you get hurt? Did someone break in?
No, honey, it's nothing like that. I'm perfectly fine. Physically, at least.
Great, then you could come make me some pasta, right? My stomach can't handle another minute of empty promises.
I was planning to be home by now, but things change unexpectedly, you know?
Wait, unexpectedly how? Did you forget about lunch entirely? Don't tell me you got caught up in that bingo night again. You know how much I hate those frozen dinners you leave me to fend for myself with.
That's not it, Jasmine. Listen, I was on my way to do you a favor, but we got interrupted.
A favor? Don't tell me you got sidetracked by your gossiping friends again. You promised you'd drop off those notes to my schoolmate as I asked you to. He needed those today.
That's the thing, honey. I was about to deliver some notes when, well...
When what? You were supposed to bring those notes to my schoolmate because another cute schoolmate asked me to give those notes to his friend. They both hate me, and if you didn't do what I say, then my entire social life will be ruined.
Hold on, Jasmine. You're exaggerating. You didn't hear the whole story yet.
What is there to hear? You couldn't do one simple thing that I asked you to. And now you don't want to come home and make me and Dad lunch? What are we supposed to eat? You know, kids my age need various healthy foods to grow up strong and smart.
Healthy? Whenever I prepare vegetables, you leave them on the plate, complaining they're bland or overcooked.
Because you can't cook them right. That's what Dad says anyway. When are you coming home? I'm starving.
I won't be coming home today. Let me explain what happened.
There's nothing to explain. I want some pasta and some chocolate dessert with strawberries. I love strawberries.
Jasmine, honey, you're not even listening to me.
Because you're wasting your time talking. You could have been home by now whipping up a feast for your precious daughter.
I'm not coming home because I'm in jail. There, I said it.
What are you on about? You just want to avoid coming home and doing your obligations, don't you?
Those notes of yours had some suspicious package inside, and the police took me away before I could pass the notes to your schoolmate.
I don't believe you. You're just trying to avoid coming home.
That is ridiculous, Jasmine. I'm sitting in a cell, and it took me hours to persuade them to give me my phone back. They will take it away again. Just so you know, I will need to stay for a couple of days at least.
You're the most irresponsible mother in the whole world. What about Dad and me? Who's going to take care of the chores? Have you thought about that?
How can you say that? I was doing what you asked me to do. Look where it got me.
All you had to do was be a housewife. And cook and clean, was that so hard for you?
Now that you ask, it's not easy to take care of family. But I won't get angry with you. You're just repeating your father's words.
I knew it. You just want to stay away from home and not make lunch today. You know what? If you would rather live in the prison than your home, then why don't you stay there forever?
Why do you say such things to me? Calm down, please.
And no need to come back.
Just got back from work and saw your message. What happened, Erica? Everything okay at home? Jasmine didn't mention anything about needing help with anything, did she?
Omar, there's been a major development. I won't be able to come back home for a while, and I need you to take care of Jasmine and the house. I'll send another message later with all the details and some instructions, okay?
I read the message. You're in jail? What I want to know is how the hell you plan to be in two places at the same time.
What do you mean, Omar?
I hope you already talked to the officers about conjugal visits. Coming home for 2 hours every day and going back to the cell. Perfect. Just perfect.
I have no idea what your fantasy is, Omar. Nobody's going to let me out for conjugal visits. I'm stuck here until the situation gets resolved. I'm just grateful they gave me this phone. And there's a freaking charger here. It's a miracle. Do you think I went somewhere on a vacation? I'm in a cold steel box with no windows waiting for news on my case. The only view I have is the peeling paint on the ceiling and some suspicious green goo dripping down the wall as we speak. Are you going to even ask how I'm doing?
You know, I saw that commercial about turbulence and airplanes. About parents and how they need to put the breathing mask on before the child as a safety measure.
You know, Omar, I rarely watch TV. What's your point?
My point is, I need to take care of myself so I can take care of this family. Or better yet, I need you to take care of me so I can take care of the family.
I'm not your mother, Omar.
You're not?
Have you been listening to anything I said? Have you spoken to your daughter about what happened? This has nothing to do with me getting myself into trouble. Both of you should be worried about me, but I only hear you worry about losing the cozy comfort of your everyday life.
Oh, no. I'm not worried because I signed the papers when we got married. And so did you. And you said yes to living the life of a housewife. I don't care how you plan to do it from jail. It's none of my business.
Do what, Omar?
Do the work around the house, obviously. Dinner, laundry, cleaning, the whole shebang.
This conversation is getting more ridiculous with every sentence. I won't be able to do any kind of work for a while, in case that escaped your notice. I already told you that I have complete faith in you, and Jasmine will do a great job together. Two heads are smarter than one, so it is.
Exactly as I feared. You were expecting me to do work you always considered beneath you?
Not at all. You know, I've been in charge of all of the house chores for years.
And? Do you want a medal for it? It's what every wife does. Don't think you're special for it. It's why people are getting married in the first place. So husbands could come home after a long day of work and have dinner ready for them. Is that too much to ask?
It's not like I'm choosing not to come home, Omar. I'm locked in jail. Did you not hear anything I said?
Oh, I heard you loud and clear. You're saying I need to go to work, stay there doing physical labor the whole day, come back, and then become your personal maid.
There is no one else who is going to do it, Omar. There are only 3 of us in this house. A family. And right now, you're acting like there's another option I haven't considered. Jasmine's a teenager, not a maid, and I shouldn't have to ask this of her. But whatever I was doing for all these years around the house, you can do too. I don't see why you couldn't step up for a while.
It's not a question of can or can't, Erica. You know how I was raised. My father never went near the kitchen, and my mother never complained. It's not a man's place to be in there, stirring pots and cleaning counters. Even if it was, it's just not in me to wipe down surfaces and chase dust bunnies. It feels unnatural.
Is this how you want to raise your daughter, Omar? By teaching her that certain chores are beneath men? Because that's the lesson she's going to learn if you won't even lift a finger to help out. Her place is in the kitchen just as much as mine ever was.
Leave Jasmine out of this. She's stressed enough with school and everything else. Look, if you can't make it home in time to finish dinner tonight, then at least call your mother and ask her to come over. She'd probably enjoy spending some time with Jasmine anyway.
My mother? Are you out of your mind? She's an old lady, Omar. She can barely walk, let alone handle a whole house of chores. Besides, this isn't about a single meal. I could be stuck here for weeks.
Last I saw her, she was spry as a cricket, getting ready to go on some raffle date with a sketchy-looking fellow in his 90s. Now that's old. Your mother is younger and probably wouldn't break a hip trying to mop the floor.
I won't have my mother in her golden years running around cleaning up after us. She deserves to enjoy her retirement, not become our live-in housekeeper.
What about your sister then? Or your friend Sarah? They always seemed pretty good at handling chores when they came over.
Omar, I don't want to involve everyone else in this mess. This is a family issue, and we need to figure it out as a family.
Don't forget, all of this is your fault, Erica. If you hadn't gotten yourself thrown in jail, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's simple. Come home and take care of your responsibilities, or find someone else to do your chores.
I don't think you listen to anything I say, Omar. Maybe you never have. Maybe I've been talking to myself ever since we got married. Do you think this is the way you treat your wife, the mother of your child? Is this the kind of support system you expect to have when things get tough?
Hey Mom, I stopped by today and I left you some papers. Did you get them? I told them it was such an important document. I wrapped it up in that bright unicorn paper you love so much. How could you miss it?
No, nothing came through. What kind of document should I be worried about? Don't tell me it's another bill I forgot to pay. You know, these prison walls have the worst reception.
Oh, thank goodness. It's nothing like that, Mom. It's just, well, it's the paper Dad sent. He's selling the house.
Selling the house? He's actually doing what he says, isn't he? The man with more empty promises than charm.
He says it's too much for him to take care of anymore. The yard is a jungle. The roof leaks like a sieve every time it rains. And you know, Dad, he could barely change a light bulb.
Didn't you get the maid we talked about? You know, the one with the glowing references and the experience of raising a teenager single-handedly?
We did, Mom. But let's just say her idea of cleaning involved strategically placed scented candles and calling it a day. And her hourly rate was insane. She was charging more than a lawyer. Dad tried calling your side of the family, but they said you told him not to help since he was treating you so badly.
Can't you find another housekeeper until I return? This can't be happening. We built a life in that house, Jasmine. Remember all those Christmas mornings downstairs by the fireplace? The countless birthday parties in the backyard?
Dad said he was done with all this, Mom. He wants a fresh start. A new life. He'll probably be sending you divorce papers soon.
Divorce papers? Why would he need those? We may not have been perfect, but surely we can work through this.
Maybe he wants to remarry. Who knows? He seems different these days, Mom. Colder.
That can't be true. We may have had our fights, our disagreements, but wasn't there love? Weren't we a family?
He says he doesn't believe your stories anymore. Not a word of it.
What story? Jasmine, what are you talking about?
He said the whole situation is suspicious, that you should have been out of jail by now, that none of it makes sense. And your close friend, the lawyer you swore would get you out on a technicality? Nothing. Not even a single whisper of progress.
Jasmine, honey, that's not how the justice system works. It takes time, proof, a fair trial. Please, don't listen to your father. Try to help him as much as you can while I'm away. I don't understand what he's doing with selling the house. Has he gone mad? Where will you live?
He'll buy a smaller apartment for just the two of us in another city, and he'll buy me a new bike with the rest of the money. Unless, of course, you come back home immediately. Dad said you can wait for the hearing from home as well. You're just choosing not to be here because you want to be away from us. You don't want to be a housewife anymore.
Is that what he told you? That I'd rather be locked in a cold concrete cell than with my own family.
That's what I think too, Mom. You'd rather spend time with criminals than with your daughter.
That's not true, Jasmine. But I did get tired of having to do everything in the house by myself. Sometimes it feels like I deserve better than the life I was living. Being in jail is no vacation, but at least it's quiet, and I don't have to fight with your father or clean up after him.
I knew it. Dad was right. You're simply ditching us. You don't care about us at all. I hate you.
Jasmine, you're wrong. I'm not ditching anyone. Jasmine, don't you hang up on me. Jasmine. Hey, what in the world is going on? What are you doing, Omar? Jasmine told me you're selling the house and the divorce papers are in the way. Couldn't you have waited until I return? I may be stuck in here, but I'm still your wife, after all. Don't I deserve some kind of loyalty?
Was my wife. I can't live like this any longer, Erica, especially since you refused to come back when I needed you most.
Refused? I'm stuck in jail for something I didn't do. You spent this whole time worried about your well-being and how this whole situation inconveniences you. How am I supposed to feel about that, Omar? Don't you have any compassion for the woman you supposedly love?
Your feelings are something you need to deal with, Erica. It's none of my business anymore. Our agreement was clear from the start. You give me the support I need at home, and I take care of you and Jasmine in return. You can call it a marriage, but let's not get confused. It's a business deal too. And frankly, you've breached the contract.
Hold on a second. Didn't I fulfill my part of the bargain? Didn't I cook your meals, clean your house, and raise our daughter the best way I knew how? What more did you possibly want from me?
You're no longer willing to do your part of the agreement, Erica. You're not here, and frankly, I don't know if you ever really wanted to be.
You mean to say I'm not able to be there right now? Because last I checked, jail cells have rather sturdy locks on them, Omar. It's not exactly a vacation resort where I can just come and go as I please.
I say willing because if you wanted to avoid this situation from happening, you would have. As simple as that. And here you are, talking to me from jail and having the nerve to ask me why I'm selling the house. It's clear your priorities have changed.
I forgot how cruel you can be sometimes, Omar. Yet Jasmine always takes your side for some reason. Like father, like daughter, it seems. You know what? If that is what you want, so be it. I no longer plan to be your maid, and it has nothing to do with me going to jail. That was just a trigger. I'm sick and tired of being the perfect wife, the composed one, the one who keeps everything quiet and organized according to your wishes 24/7. I end up in jail for something I didn't do, and then instead of doing everything you can to get me out, you're accusing me of lying and wanting to stay here? Insane? It's because it suits your interest to have your wife locked away. Well, you know what? Who wouldn't want to live in jail with that kind of husband? I didn't even know I had wishes and needs of my own. It was all just you. You and you for years.
Are you trying to say you're the one dumping me? Twisting things around on me now, are we?
You didn't think I would be your maid forever, did you, Omar? That I wouldn't eventually wake up and realize my own worth? This marriage may have been a business deal to you, but I gave you something real, something precious, and you threw it away for convenience.
I don't think you've thought this through, as per usual, Erica. You don't know what you're saying. This is all the stress talking. You'll cool down and see things my way.
As of today, you and Jasmine are on your own, Omar. I'm out of here. Out of this marriage. Out of this life. I may be in jail, but at least I have my dignity. And that's something you'll never take away from me. Goodbye, Omar.
Hey Mom, how are you? You're out of jail by now, right? Looking back at it, what happened was unfortunate. Everything feels so different now without you here. There's this huge empty space where the house used to be, and this even bigger emptiness inside of me. I miss you, Mom. Actually, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Jasmine, is that you? My phone calls haven't been going through lately. Where are you even calling from?
Mom, where have you been? I haven't heard anything from you in weeks. Is everything okay? Listen, I need to move in with you, like, this week. When can I come?
Move in? Jasmine, I don't even have a place of my own right now. Just a small rented room with a leaky faucet and a shared bathroom down the hall. It's not exactly a palace.
What do you mean you don't have a place? Don't you live with... Well, never mind. I just assumed... Look, it doesn't matter. I can't stay here anymore. It's not working out with Dad.
You must have accused him of lying as well? Just like you accused me.
Do you still remember that? Mom, I was just a kid. I didn't know any better.
It doesn't matter now, Jasmine. Water under the bridge.
It kind of does, Mom. Things were just horrible here after you left. The apartment was a mess with takeout containers piled everywhere. Dad tried dating, but let's just say that wasn't pretty. He kept blaming you for everything. And the whole atmosphere was just toxic. Wait a second. Is everything okay with you? You sound strange.
What? Everything is great. Better than great. Just peachy keen.
Never mind. It just seemed like you weren't really listening to me. Anyway, Dad finally met someone new and impulsively decided to kick me out. He said I was an adult now and everyone deserves a fresh start.
Is that so? Well, good for him then.
Do you really mean that? You're not mad at him anymore?
There's no reason for me to hold grudges, Jasmine. Both of you moved on with your lives. And so did I. So there are no hard feelings. It all seems so distant now, the whole story of our family. Like a lifetime ago.
I'm not sure if you got me right, Mom. I didn't move on. I want to move in with you again. You're way better at cooking than Dad ever was. And you were always there for me. I felt like I was living with a robot here ever since you left. I just didn't appreciate everything that you were doing for me.
Oh, Jasmine, it's sweet of you to say that after all this time. But I think you're coming to me out of desperation, not because you truly miss me. I wish I could be the same kind of mom I was before, the one who always had a hot meal on the table and a listening ear. But I'm not that person anymore, sweetheart. Something inside me just broke. I owe it to myself now to go and find my own happiness, even if it means being alone for a while.
Mom, where am I supposed to go? You have some great friends around here. Couldn't you ask one of them to put me up for a little while, just until I get back on my feet?
I haven't spoken to any of them since. Well, since everything happened. Besides, you have friends too, don't you? Surely one of them can help you out in a pinch.
Wait, what? This can't be real. You can't say no to me in a situation like this, Mom.
After our conversation, Jasmine went back to live with Omar for a while. But they soon got into another argument. And this time, Jasmine left on her own. She was hurt for a while, but she soon realized the period of relying on a family is over, and she needs to start over, just like both of her parents. Jasmine finally made a deal with her friends, and they rented an apartment together. She's considering going to university if she improves her grades. Omar was fighting with everyone for a while, including his new wife and the history he was about to repeat itself. Half a year later, he admitted needing professional help, so he went and talked to a psychologist, and things started gradually improving for him. And Omar realized he had unresolved issues with most women in his life. It was too late for him to fix the relationship with his first wife, but he tried to be more moderate in his new marriage and not treat his spouse like a maid. I decided to get a job so I can start saving money for opening a restaurant one day. I'm still dating and enjoying my life. Before dating, I made a promise to myself to spend a lot of time spoiling myself and doing things I love. I didn't give up on my daughter, and we will probably schedule coffee, meetings, and holidays in the future. But for now, I like having my place and being on my own.